Hello, hello. So Heather, I've been doing the paper pencil journal for 2 weeks. Awesome job. And I was wanting to know, what should I do now? Like, how do I know what to focus on, what to do? So there's kind of 2 different tracks I'm going to put you on. The first track is I was recording my calories the next day. I now have a 2-week calorie average. I know my most highest calorie foods. All that good business. And I was journaling my weight in Happy Scale or Libra or some other app that does average weight. And I can take those 2 pieces of information and say, my goal is X. Maybe your goal is to maintain, maybe your goal is to lose, maybe your goal is just to build healthy habits and you don't really care about all that. Decide what your goal is. And then say, what happened over these 2 weeks? So my average calories were X, my weight went up, went down, stayed the same. From just that piece of information, you should have a pretty good indication as to maintenance calories, weight loss, or weight gain, so you can start to make improvements there. If you're the person who is not going to remotely track calories, you can do the same thing. You could have been recording your weight in Happy Scale or Libra. You can say, what happened over the 2 weeks? Did my weight trend up, trend down, stay the same? What's your goal? Then you can kind of start to make changes. So if your weight trended up and you noticed you're eating a lot of treats and you got lots of highlights for impulsive eating, obviously that might be a really good place for you to start. Could I start to incentivize myself to eat a little less? So maybe you prepackage all the treats in your house, you put down the amount you had been eating over the 2 weeks, but your goal might be to earn more stars. Because remember, there's 3 marks that go on the left. It's either a check, yes, I ate it, a highlight, which indicates an impulsive eat or a change of what the original plan was. And then there is a star, which indicates a point of improvement. So if every day for the last 2 weeks you were eating 3 or 4 impulsive treats, maybe your goal is you would like to reduce that by 1. And so that would become a star on the opposite side, right? So that could be a thing. If you noticed every day for lunch you planned a salad and you were mostly defaulting to eating out, maybe your thing would be 1, obviously plan eating out in, but maybe give yourself a lunch you actually would look forward to. Maybe taking a nice sandwich and a bowl of soup, maybe making something delicious for dinner the night before and taking leftovers. Like, maybe start to ask yourself, why am I not eating the lunch I'm taking? Why am I not getting a check mark for this? Because I want to actually plan food I enjoy, so I'm not always eating out, right? If you're the mom who come dinner time, or dad, you're too exhausted to make the meal you planned and you guys are going and grabbing food out, maybe say, okay, I got a lot of highlights for dinner. Maybe this week I'm gonna work on picking simple meals or assembly meals or meals that require very little cooking on my part, like throwing a couple frozen pizzas in the oven so we don't have to eat out. Maybe that's a goal that you're shooting for. So you can get so much information, but only pick one thing. If you are thinking, okay, I would like to lose weight, my calories are X, this is what happened with my weight, and I want to make a change, what are the things that I could alter on this plan that would be helpful? What can I incentivize myself to improve? What can I start to plan better that would allow for me to maybe eat a little less calories? That would be, and it could be adding in. It could be like, hey, at breakfast I'm not eating any protein, so I'm super hungry later in the day, and I eat larger amounts or more impulsively, so maybe it's putting in protein at breakfast. Maybe it's incorporating more fruits and vegetables for the fiber content, so you feel fuller for longer. Like, maybe it's putting in a snack in the afternoon because you're noticing most of your grazing is happening in the afternoon. That's where your highlights are. Maybe putting like a 3 o'clock snack in there. Like, it's truly an endless possibility, but I only want you for the first week to pick one focus. Write it at the top of your paper. For this week, my goal is to add protein to breakfast. My goal is to see a reduction in my impulsive eating at night. I would like to go from 3 to 2, right? So it's you writing it out, having a focus based on the bigger goal at hand, And that's all you zero in on, because otherwise it will feel overwhelming, because there's so many areas for a lot of you that you could tackle. So, but at the end of the 2 weeks, truly, like if I was your coach and I sat down with you, I could go through it. We could put together a cool plan based on you, because that's your data. It's your calorie amount, your body weight, your highlights, stars, check marks. And from all of that data, you could put together a great plan of action 1 week at a time, one goal at a time. If you find you're just kind of generally eating higher calories than you need for your goal, maybe it's assessing the foods that are affecting you and picking different foods, like different products, maybe like reducing from full fat cheese to reduced fat cheese, things like that. And you find, okay, I'm saving 50 calories here, 80 calories there. I could just swap out a bunch of products. Sky is the limit. But once you've got that 2 weeks of data, you're going to be able to springboard off that. My only limit on that one thing for the week. Then you see how you did with it. Okay, so out of 7 days, how did I do with getting protein in at breakfast? Well, I did 3 out of 7. So then maybe you don't need to rush off that goal just yet. Maybe you need to do it another week until you get closer. Generally speaking, I like to see people getting to a 75-80% rate of follow through before we start adding more in. For the average person, that's going to be 1 to 3 weeks of just focusing on that. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it's not. You might even assess from your 2 weeks of data, because I have no meal plan, I'm not grocery shopping, everything I do is super impulsive, I'm going through drive-thrus, I'm getting fast options because I don't have a plan. So maybe for you, it's actually not the day-to-day as much as it is the weekly plan. So no matter how you cut it, you should walk away with some very clear ideas of what might be helpful for you. All right, guys, I hope that helped. I will talk to you soon.